The scene cuts to Xuanwu City. The outside is strangely silent, as if someone just pressed the mute button. But inside, Muan was as joyful as if a village festival were being held. Her cheeks were bright red, her heart fluttered, and an indescribable happiness overflowed. The day she had long awaited had finally arrived. Nearly half a year of pregnancy coupled with a long period of separation had made her miss her beloved so much that she couldn't sit still. Her mind kept repeating the thought that her hateful husband had finally decided to show up. The two of them would soon be together again, traversing the four corners of the world. She excitedly told herself that there was no need to be shy about that matter, even calculating carefully that she could still engage in normal intimacy during her pregnancy from March until before August. Thinking this, she became even more confident. 3 days earlier, she had set out assertively to meet Shenlang, as if going to collect a debt. I must pout and be a little sulky. With the contribution of pregnancy being as immense as heaven, it would be a waste of life not to act a little. My belly is only a bit bigger. Anyway, haha. A few hundred meters from the convoy, Mulan rushed forward like the wind despite her oversized pregnant belly. Upon arriving, she didn't see Shenlang anywhere, only Bing holding a small child. Mulan froze solid, her heart dropping, wanting to cry. Bing, where is my husband? Bing calmly replied, you went to meet someone. The more Mulan heard, the more disappointed she felt, almost fainting. Where did he go? Who did he meet? Bing shook her head and said, I don't know either. It's a secret, so my husband didn't tell me. After speaking, she casually hugged the little baby and smiled enticingly, chewing, baby, say mother. Chen Mai widened his eyes, looking at her. His sparkling black eyes glanced at her face, then at her large belly, with a gaze full of curiosity, as if he had encountered a rare creature. Mulan instantly melted, holding out her hand and speaking in a much softer voice, baby, come here so mother can give you a hug. Meanwhile, Shenlang didn't go home immediately but turned directly towards Lanyan Mountain. You wanted to meet someone with a story that was both strange and tragic. Grandmaster Lan Dao once shook the Eastern world, his fame echoing everywhere. Deng Chang had studied martial arts under him for a few months, and Ning Kai was also his student. Even the fierce General Ning Kai Lan Dao came from his school. Not only was he at the peak of martial arts, but he was also the #1 archer in New Kingdom, possessing unparalleled archery skills in the world. But that was in the past. Now, both his arms and legs, along with his meridians and tendons, have been severed. The title of Grandmaster has also vanished. The person who once stood at the pinnacle now hides in a deserted mountain, living like a cripple, unknown to anyone. Such a person, however, was precisely the sole piece Shenlang needed. You wanted to build a second trump card. With Lan Dao, it would be like not just adding wings, but attaching a jet engine. Success in his plan was already more than half certain. In the deep, quiet mountains, only the sound of whistling wind could be heard. Shenlang stopped in front of the simple thatched cottage. His voice was deep and decisive. Shenlang has come to pay respects to Grandmaster Lan Dao. I hope you will emerge from seclusion. Lan Dao was once known as someone whose influence spread across the world, metaphor for having many disciples. Throughout his life, he took on over 100 students. Some studied for a few months, others for a few years. Many students meant much drama. In the end, he was betrayed by his own disciple. Experts like him would light up when they heard about ancient ruins and would rush there immediately. As a result, when he returned, the tendons and meridians in all 4 limbs were completely severed. He fell from Grandmaster to a full-blown cripple, disappearing from the world thereafter. Sword King Lai Tangyu was an old friend, which is why he knew that Lan Dao was living in seclusion on this dilapidated mountain. Shenlang stood outside and spoke again. Master Lan Dao, Shenlang has come to pay respects. A hoarse voice came from inside the house. No meeting, no meeting. Lai Tangyu, do you want to harm me? How dare you reveal my location? Do you want to force me to move or force me to leave forever? The weird voice gave goosebumps, completely unlike his heroic image from back then. Before Lai Tangyu could speak, Pushi immediately took action. Why bother dreading this out? Having said that, she rushed inside and pulled out an old man. Who was Lan Dao? He was sitting in a wheelchair, his body trembling pitifully. He was skinny as a matchstick, his hair messy like a bird's nest. He had clearly lost the ability to work. His 2 arms were strangely twisted. It was obvious that his tendons and meridians had been completely severed without exception. Shenlang silently wondered who had done this. Was it a trap, or was he harmed? The mystery remained, as Lan Dao himself would not say a word. Shenlang stepped forward and spoke directly. Master Lan Dao, I want to invite you to emerge from seclusion and teach soldiers archery, so that your unparalleled archery skills are not lost. Lan Dao scoffed and refused. I'm not going. Can't you see what I'm like now? I can't even hold chopsticks, let alone shoot arrows. Shenlang scanned him from head to toe with his gaze. Indeed, the injuries had crippled him completely. His tendons and meridians were tangled like noodles. To heal him, he would have to be operated on to connect each strand. Shenlang calmly said, I can cure this injury. Restoring martial arts will be difficult, but it's possible for you to work and live normally. Of course, there's also the possibility that you might die during the treatment. After hearing this, Lan Dao rolled his eyes in contempt. Stop exaggerating. I've met all the famous doctors in the world, and none of them could cure me. Indeed, countless famous doctors had examined him beforehand and shook their heads helplessly. From hope to despair, Lan Dao had given up and came to live out his life on the mountain. Go away, all of you. He began to chase them off. Kyushi stepped forward with her hands on her hips. Old man, look carefully at who I am. Landau was startled. Q Muizai sister Q. Why is it you? Landau was shocked. Previously, Kyushi had been poisoned severely, leaving her in a state that was neither human nor ghost. Famous doctors had given up on her, yet now she was completely recovered. It sounded reasonable, but he still didn't believe luck would visit him again. Go away, go away. I'm moving house to get this over with. He continued to chase them away. Kyushi became exasperated, dawdling like a woman, not a man at all. Then she turned and shouted, Teng Yan, tie this old man up for me. Teng Yan immediately complied. Without saying a word, he lifted Landau onto his shoulder, perfectly embodying the say little, do much type. Landau was so angry his lungs were about to burst, screaming for help loudly in broad daylight, yet he was still captured. Put me down. But shouting until he was hoarse was useless. The Grandmaster of a lifetime was ultimately carried like a dog. At the same time, in the capital at the Bamboo Palace, the ruler, the Crown Prince's face was ashen, rage boiling inside him. Plates and dishes lay shattered around him. Standing before Prince Truck, he completely abandoned his image and launched into a tirade. Who does he think he is, treating me like that? He's useless himself, yet he vents all his frustration on me. It's not like I owe that debt. He ruined his own arrangements and couldn't pay, so he was forced into a humiliating debt payment. What does that have to do with me? Didn't he used to have to run begging to my grandfather like a dog? Has he completely forgotten? Without the Truck clan, could he even hold on to the throne? Prince Truck remained as still as a statue, letting the Crown Prince vent his frustration like a flood. After a long pause, he calmly asked, are you finished venting? No, His Majesty is using Ninkale-1EF3 to suppress you. What do you plan to do? Or are you planning a rebellion? The Crown Prince was speechless. Rebellion sounds impressive, but where would I get the military force for that? The situation hasn't reached that point yet. He ground his teeth and said, Grandfather, by continuously promoting Ninkale-1EF3 like this, doesn't the Emperor fear creating a big tail that's hard to whack? Prince Truck let out a slight laugh. His Majesty isn't promoting Ninkale-1EF3. He's merely using him. The person he truly values is Ninshin. Forcing you two to fight allows Ninshin to leisurely grow up on the sidelines. Hearing this, the Crown Prince looked as if he had been struck by lightning. My father favors Ninshin. How can that be? In my eyes, Ninshin is just a stutterer. Without th-1e9m lang, he's practically useless. Prince Truck calmly said, believe it or not, he is the truth. The Crown Prince remained unconvinced. No matter what, Ninkale-1EF3 far surpasses Ninshin. Prince Truck slowly analyzed. CH-1E7NG Year's plan to marry CH-1E7NG Susu to the son of the great Yan Imperial Prince of martial prowess has made His Majesty wary. He discovered that Ninkale-1EF3 also has ties to the Yan capital. Both you and Ninkale-1EF3 rely on the Empire, which makes His Majesty uneasy. Only Ninshin has no such entanglements. If he ascends the throne, VQ-1ED1C will maintain its independence. That is what His Majesty truly wants. The Crown Prince frowned and said, the great Yan Empire is our suzerain. What's wrong with relying on them? Prince Truck sneered inwardly. Those words sound very loyal, but I doubt you'd still say them if you actually sat on the throne. He did not expose the Crown Prince's true feelings, continuing instead, His Majesty now favors Ninshin. You think he's useless, but that's not necessarily true. He may not be a genius, but he's resolute and persistent, with a wit and generosity beyond ordinary people. He might very well become a wise ruler. Hearing this made the Crown Prince even more alarmed. Even Prince Truck evaluated Ninshin so highly. It seemed the stutter was not simple at all. Prince Truck continued, before, His Majesty feared that you and Ninkale-1EF3 would fight too fiercely, so he always restrained you, allowing you to fight without completely destroying each other. Now, he is deliberately fueling the fire, letting you two clash to protect Ninshin, while simultaneously assessing if Ninshin has the qualifications to inherit the throne. He looked at the Crown Prince, his eyes darkening, and His Majesty has never given up the intention of bringing th-1e9m lang back. The Crown Prince snorted with laughter. th-1e9m lang returning is impossible. Prince Truck calmly replied, he will return only if we lose in the Southern Europe campaign. The Crown Prince jumped up nervously to retort, is he insane? A king of a nation wants to lose a battle just to bring th-1e9m lang back. Prince Truck shook his head. No, His Majesty is not foolish. He still wants to win this battle and will give his full effort. But in his heart, he is conflicted. He wants to win, yet he knows that if he does, th-1e9m lang will never return, and Ninshin will lose his support. He looked directly at the Crown Prince. Nin-D-1B0-1E3C. Everything else is secondary. The most important thing is the Southern Europe campaign. If you win, you will achieve unparalleled merit. At that point, no one, not even His Majesty, will be able to shake your position as Crown Prince. Therefore, you must risk everything in this battle and commit fully. There is no path of retreat. The Crown Prince slammed his hand on the table. But we also cannot allow Ninkale-1EF3 to grow powerful. Otherwise, even if we win the battle, you will still pose a significant threat. Prince Truck nodded. Two things cannot change. Ninkale-1EF3 will definitely become the Grand Governor of the Northern Province. This position must be yielded to him, or he won't fight against you. Tate TRI-1EC7T becoming the Central Governor of Viet Province is also almost predetermined. The only position left to contend for is the Central Governor of the Western Province. This position absolutely must belong to us. Although His Majesty has secretly chosen Chan Tled Huk, it still requires me, the Prime Minister, to go and beg for mercy, to bow down and admit defeat. The Crown Prince quickly said, "Grandfather, you don't need to go." Prince Truk smiled slightly, his eyes profound. "Why wouldn't I go? What's the big deal for a subject to bow down before his king?" The next day, Prime Minister Prince Truk trembled as he entered the royal palace, unclear whether from illness or due to the situation being as tense as a violin string. As soon as Ngai and Ashai led one EBFN saw him, he ran out to greet him, speaking in a tone as intimate as family. "Grandfather, why did you come in person? If there was anything, you could have just sent word. I should have come to see you myself." As he spoke, he helped Prince Truk inside and inquired, "I heard you were ill. Why do you have to go through so much trouble?" On the surface, he truly depicted a benevolent king and respectful minister, one like a spring breeze. But deep down, both men understood that a rift had appeared. Once cracked, it would be difficult to repair it back to its original state. If this were a few years ago, when facing Prime Minister Zhu, Nin Nguyen Hien would still be casual and familiar, speaking without reservation, but now the dynamic had completely changed. He was polite in the standard manner of a monarch meeting a senior official, both courteous and somewhat imposing. Prime Minister Zhu slowly began. "This old official has served His Majesty for over 30 years, and held the position of Prime Minister for 22 years. It is truly embarrassing to admit that after so many years as Prime Minister, I have only been mediocre, with nothing outstanding to show." Nin Nguyen Hien immediately replied, "Your words are too modest. You are the pillar supporting the heavens of VQU led 1ED1C, the great tree providing shade to the entire court." Prime Minister Zhu let out a light sigh. "In recent years, this old official has been plagued by illness, and my mind is no longer as clear as before. If I continue to sit in the Shansha Terrace, I fear I will only cause more trouble. Therefore, I wish to retire from office and request to step down as Prime Minister." Upon hearing this, Nin Nguyen Hien's heart skipped a beat. He thought to himself that this didn't sound right. Was this a genuine retreat, or was he setting up a political maneuver? But in the blink of an eye, the monarch understood. Prime Minister Zhu was making a disguised surrender. This old fox absolutely could not truly leave his post, because if he did, Duran would certainly take his place, leaving no one to hold the line in the Southern Governor General's office. Furthermore, the Crown Prince's faction did not have anyone strong enough to take charge yet, and the court could not function without him. Even Nin Nguyen Hien could not yet let him go. Therefore, this request for resignation was actually a test to see if the king truly wanted to change the Crown Prince. A single sentence probed the king's inner thoughts. Grasping the intention, Nin Nguyen Hien played along perfectly, bowing and saying, "Absolutely not, Your Excellency, absolutely not. Did I, Your Majesty, do anything incomplete or improper that makes you wish to leave? If I have erred, please punish me, but do not abandon me." The monarch even performed a very deep bow, an act of sincere respect that was somewhat excessive. Prime Minister Zhu was startled and quickly moved to stop him. "Your Majesty, acting in this manner shortens this old official's life. There is a hierarchy between monarch and subject. This cannot be." He tried to pull Nin Nguyen Hien to his feet, but the monarch deliberately refused to stand. So, Prime Minister Zhu also had to play along, intending to kneel to return the courtesy. But Nin Nguyen Hien quickly held him back. The two engaged in a contest of etiquette, each wanting to show greater humility than the other. Finally, Nin Nguyen Hien concluded, "If Your Excellency does not withdraw your intention to resign, I will remain bowed like this forever." Prime Minister Zhu feigned embarrassment. This. "If Your Majesty does not agree, I will not stand up." Having acted enough, Prime Minister Zhu finally conceded. "All right, if Your Majesty does not find this old official too old and weak, then I request to stay on for a while longer." Nin Nguyen Hien asked again, "You truly won't resign anymore?" He replied, "No resignation, no resignation. Your Majesty, please stand up quickly." Only then did the monarch finally stand, wiping sweat from his brow and laughing. "You almost made me break out in a sweat." Prime Minister Zhu bowed and apologized. But internally, he sighed. The Nin Nguyen Hien before him was no longer a junior, but a true king. The two exchanged a few more polite words, and Prime Minister Zhu took his leave. Notably, he did not mention Chan Tu-huk, because it went without saying. As long as he was willing to compromise, the matter of Chan Tu-huk becoming the central commander of Tangxi was considered settled. After Prime Minister Zhu left, Nin Nguyen Hien silently lamented how terrifying Shenlang truly was. Everything that happened nearly perfectly matched his predictions. Next up was a southern campaign to attack the Kang Kingdom. He just hoped Shenlang would not be proven right this time. The Chu and Wuhu mansion was extraordinarily lively these days. Chen Mai, the little darling, had become the superstar of the entire family. Wherever she went, people crowded around her. As soon as the baby woke up, people lined up to hold her. She was treated like royalty from birth. The baby was extremely adorable and allowed anyone to hold her, not afraid of strangers. She didn't cry or fuss, just watched the world with wide, curious eyes. The entire family called her Little Princess. Binger was obsessed with her, declaring every day that the child merely borrowed Mrs. Stomach to come out, but in every other way, she resembled her father. Muan carried the baby through the mansion, pointing things out. "This is where Daddy writes characters, this is where we eat, and that's where he does bad things." They stopped in front of the wall listing enemies, where the list had been almost completely erased, with only a few stubborn names remaining. T led 1 EBFTCHI led 1 EC7T, Thu Bar D stroke led 1 EA30, and Thu Din and G led 1 ECDC. The Crown Prince Nindi led 1B0 led 1E3C was temporarily inconvenient to write down. Muan muttered to the baby, "Your father is very petty. You must learn from him, or you'll be bullied later." As she spoke, her body stiffened. Although there was no movement behind her, her heart began to race. The familiar feeling, both hated and longed for, approached like a stealthy ghost. Then, a hand was placed on her waist. Out loud, she scolded him, "The child is here. Don't you have any sense of propriety?" But her entire body went soft as she leaned back against him. Her husband had finally returned. The person she longed for day and night had finally appeared. Shenlang held both mother and child tightly in his embrace, kissing the big darling once and then the little darling. The three of them held each other in silence, enjoying the peaceful moment that everyone wished to preserve forever. After more than a year apart, he was finally home. Shenlang felt light all over, as if every was cheering. The surrounding air became warm and soft. He just wanted to hold his wife and child forever, letting time pass by. But suddenly, the little baby stirred and cried loudly, "War war." Before Mulan could react, Binger swooped in like a gust of wind, snatching at the baby and taking her away. She left behind a blunt comment, "Miss, remember to lie on your side gently so it doesn't compress your abdomen. I have experience now." Binger truly didn't know how to keep her mouth shut. Mulan blushed crimson, intending to scold her, but her body went limp again as Shenlang stood there, smiling slyly like a cat seeing butter. The very next second, that hand began to misbehave. Mulan protested, "Husband, in broad daylight, how about going to pay respects to mother and father first?" Before she finished speaking, her dress seemed to untie itself. What needed to happen happened, and the couple quickly became lost in their emotions. An hour later, Shenlang let out a sigh of satisfaction, looking at Kim Mulan lying beside him, still breathless and looking dazed. He thought to himself that a year of training in the capital had not been wasted. His combat strength had significantly increased. Mulan was no longer a match for him. Furthermore, Mulan had become even more beautiful during pregnancy. Her face seemed to glow, and her aura had exploded. She surpassed even Chun Shishi. She truly was a treasure, captivating him more the more he looked at her. In the evening, the entire family gathered for dinner. The atmosphere was so warm that everyone wanted to freeze a moment. Chen Jai and Shenlang's younger brother also had a son, Chen Cheng, who was over 3 months old. One child was well behaved as an angel, while the other was mischievous as a little devil. Chen Mai was quiet, while Shen Chen chattered constantly. Lin Dunyang, gentle as he was, had to care for the noisy one. The two children met and babbled to each other in a language no one else understood. Chuan Wuhu Jin Shua raised his glass excitedly. Drink up, drink up." Shenlang emptied his glass immediately. After drinking, old Shenzhang turned to speak. "Today truly feels like the new year for our family. I never thought I would experience such happiness." Just then, 3-month-old Shen Cheng suddenly started crying. "War war." Chen Chen was soothed. "Good boy, don't cry." Old Shen immediately joked, "Does Chenger want roast duck? Let Grandpa pick up a piece for you." Everyone continued raising the glasses. "Mr. Lai, let's have a drink together." He laughed, saying, "Because Langer wasn't home last year, the new year felt very fly. Both of your fathers were drinking heavily to drown their sorrows." Everyone at the table was happy except for the Landau Grandmaster. He stubbornly continued his hunger strike, having refused to eat every day since being forced back. But Kyushi insisted on feeding him chicken soup with ginseng and porridge. His grandmasterly demeanor completely disappeared. He just wanted to starve himself to death. Chen Lang glanced over and winked at Mulan. She understood, picked up Shen Mai, and offered a bun. "Baby, feed him." She understood immediately upon being taught once. The little girl held the bun right up to his mouth. Landau looked at the tiny hand and the adorable, doll-like face. His aged face trembled slightly. Finally, he took the bun and bit into it. And that was it. The Grandmaster officially lost to a child. Hearing that makes his prestige vanish in the wind. Chen Mai clapped her hands and divulged. Landau also instinctively softened. Chen Cheng, thinking his sister was talking to him, joined in with Nair. The two children then started an endless conversation about everything under the sun, creating such a lively scene that while no one understood what they were saying, everyone felt happy. Seeing this, Chen Lang stepped forward and ordered another item for the Grandmaster. Landau could only swallow hard in embarrassment. Chen Lang went straight into Jin Hui's courtyard, clearly aiming to meet Zhang Sihan. After all, she was Zhang Dar's daughter, and Zhang Dar had nearly lost his life because of him. He felt a little guilty for not visiting. Jin Hui saw him and immediately jumped up to greet him. Chen Lang glanced at the meal tray and couldn't help but comment, "Are you eating? But this dish looks so unusual. I thought the sword-wielding lady was very virtuous. I didn't expect her cooking skills to be a bit off-standard." Jin Hui nearly choked hearing that and quickly said, No, this dish is very delicious." Inwardly, he was screaming, "It's over, Deng Sihan cooked this." Just then, she brought out bowls and chopsticks, smiling gently as she said, "Young master, you haven't tried my cooking yet, so try it today." Shen Lang could only force a smile and respond with all right. But when he sat down and examined the food tray closely, he saw only dishes that were completely burned, all smelling scorch. He picked up his chopsticks and chose a piece of eggplant that looked relatively less dangerous. The result was exactly as expected. It was truly difficult to eat. He thought to himself that Jin Hui must live a difficult life. But having already spoken, refusing to eat now would be even more dangerous. So he had to grit his teeth and eat a few more bites, all while nodding and praising its deliciousness. After eating for a while, Just as he was about to mention Zhang Dar, Deng Sihun spoke first. Young master, there's no need to speak about it. They brought it all upon themselves. Don't feel guilty. Shenlang nodded without adding anything, turning to drink with Jin Hui instead. Fortunately, the wine was light enough to drink without food, otherwise, this meal would truly have been a test of willpower. Young master, don't just drink without eating, Deng Sihun said enthusiastically, continuously offering him large amounts of food. Shenlang looked at the pile of food and sighed inwardly. Is this a new form of revenge? Not using a knife, but using food. Is she planning to feed me until I poison myself to death? Outwardly, she hadn't blamed him at all. When the news of Zhang Dar's death arrived, she only stated that she was no longer related to that family, and was only his wife. But that night, Jin Hui pretended to sleep and saw her crying silently all night long. Afterwards, Shenlang visited his father-in-law, Marquis Chuan Wu Jinjuo, asking how many people currently lived on Liju Island. Jinjuo replied, over 80,000 people, 50,000 transferred from the territory, and over 30,000 were brought here by the Heavenly Tao Society, most of them landless peasants. After more than a year of construction, the area had stabilized, and villages and towns have formed. Shenlang nodded and asked if relations with the Heavenly Tao Society were still good. Jinjuo replied, very good. After speaking, the atmosphere fell silent. The two men stood there, not knowing what else to say. They were like father and son, yet talking was harder than discussing state affairs. If there wasn't official business, almost no one would speak. Shenlang also felt helpless because his father-in-law was too serious and upright, carefully considering every word. Compared to him, talking to Ning Yuanxian was easier. After a long silence, Jinjuo finally managed to think of one sentence. The secret preparations on the island are complete. Shenlang nodded and replied, yes, thank you, father-in-law. Few words were needed between the two. Later, he went to his mother-in-law, Zhu Beibei. Shenlang recounted all kinds of rumors about the king, concubine Bin, and the queen. She listened and laughed happily, saying, only Liner tells me so many interesting things. He smiled back and replied, that's natural. Then Zhu Beibei smiled brightly and asked about beauty matters. I take the medicine you gave me every day, and I make sure to drink soy milk just as you instructed. Liner, can you help me check what kind of cream mother face should use these days? Is moisturizing or oil control better?